All right. I sent a new video from Big Winzel. It's Charlie. I just call him Charlie. Um, I'm subscribed to him. Been subscribed to him for I don't know 2, 3, 4, fucking 5 years. I don't know. I watch all of his videos. It's just a new one that he just put out and stuff like that. From like the clip of it, it looked like more of the ICE agents doing more brutality towards the people and stuff like that. So I imagine that's what the pretext of this video is going to be about. And it's like this should make you very angry.
We're talking about something very serious today. Throughout the video, you're going to see my shirt changes. It's not some kind of like crazy, wacky, magic trick from America's Got Talent or anything. I actually filmed this video earlier this morning when the story first broke. It's the killing of Alex Preddy in Minnesota at the hands of border agents. And I made the video, but I was pretty heated and I wanted to kind of simmer down and take a break. So I went out before posting it. I just got home, and now even more angles and videos have been released that show beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is a 100% unjustified killing of an American citizen here. And it seems like the execution stems from them finding out that he had a gun on his person, his Second Amendment rights. In all of the videos that exist, there is not a single moment where he is reaching for the gun, brandishing it, threatening with it, or anything at all, and we have video that shows the entire interaction from start to finish. His name was Alex Preddy, a 37-year-old.
Charlie, I know. You think that this is just like it is a tragedy. And I feel for you, but as a black person and stuff who lives in America, if the police were underneath the pretext that I had a gun, they would also shoot me. And it's the same thing with him. He's got a very thick beard. He's got this specific look and stuff like that. So you know,
Nurse who worked in the ICU at Minneapolis VA healthcare system, and according to the police chief, he is a U.S. citizen with no prior interactions with law enforcement outside of a couple of traffic tickets, and believed to be a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry. So for him to lose his life being shot multiple times by these agents, all because of him exercising his Second Amendment rights, which again, he wasn't trying to use as an intimidation tactic on the officers or anything like that. When they were beating him on the ground, pistol whipping him on the ground, they happened to see that he had a gun, apparently. He wasn't throwing it at them as like a threat or something, or brandishing it or anything. He simply had it on him, which he was well within his right to do, and he got murdered for it. This is completely unacceptable, and the fucking drones that are somehow like parading around like this is some kind of victory or something is sickening. It
yeah.
should be viewed as
Watching the fact that we even watch people get brutalized in the streets is just sad, and then the fact that we do it to one another and stuff is sad, and then the fact that some people even see it as um, even think something to applaud or even or like a spectacle or anything like that is just sad. It's just sad. So the whole situation is just sad.
treasonous by any real Americans when you see this footage. And they had the gall to say that Alex Preddy was like the instigator, labeling him a domestic terrorist, I saw from a couple of places, claiming that he approached these agents with a 9mm. He approached them with a gun looking to start shit. But that is not true. In all of the videos you see, he has a phone in his hands. Not a gun in his hands, he has a phone in his hands. No sane person would ever mistake a phone for a gun. This is blatantly obvious what they're trying to do. And it's something they've been doing a lot recently. Trying to tell you that what you're seeing isn't real. Trust their words, not your eyes. That is completely fucking outrageous. And people are willingly doing it. That's the craziest part. There are people that are like, oh, I saw he had his phone, but if they say it was a gun, well, that must have been a gun. I cannot believe we've reached this level of brainwashing. There are so many angles of this, and in every single one of them, you can see he has his phone in.
They used to tell you guys about like police brutality wasn't a thing in black communities, and I had white friends that just were just completely surprised at that shit. I had family members, and I was even a victim of it at a very young age, like 10. And it's just like, oh yeah, no, it doesn't happen. It's just like, I mean, they can tell you, but I mean, You kind of have to go out of your way to find the truth.
His hand, and at no point during this interaction did he ever like pull a gun on them or anything. And in fact, in one of the angles, you can even clearly see that the agents actually took the gun from him prior to him being shot. You can actually see what looks to be one of the agents disarming him, taking the gun out of its holster and running away with the gun prior to him being shot.
There's so many of them. So usually I wouldn't even watch these kind of videos because of this stupid ass shit right here. There's so many people with fucking phones out and just like watching this incident as if it's a fucking spectacle. Like, look at this TikTok, look at the event that's going on. Oh my god, as many views as possible. This is a human being who is being attacked and no one gives a shit. Everyone just cares about views. It fucking sucks, man. It fucking sucks. I don't want the police, the ICE agents in this predicament. I don't want them endangering themselves. I don't want them hurting somebody. I don't want them doing this. I just want them to do their job as peacefully as possible, if possible. And then I don't want other people or innocent people to be hurt. And I don't want stupid people to be spectating like this is a spectacle.
And if that wasn't definitive, there is something even more clear that I think is completely irrefutable for anyone that's actually looking. An agent takes Alex's gun out of its holster in front of the agent that pulls out his gun and shoots him. So he can see the gun has been taken out of the holster. And it is clear Alex Brady has both hands on the ground. He does not have a gun in them. And an agent reaches in and takes it out of the holster right before another agent pulls out his firearm and shoots him in the back.
All right, so in both the videos, I was just about to ask, like, in both the videos, we're already in the tussle. How the fuck did we get to the tussle? Because I, I live in Colorado. I see ICE agents all the time. I see police officers all the time. I see sheriff officers all the time. They never fuck with me, never bother me. I have on shades, fucking hoodie, all that shit. They do not bother me. They do not like acknowledge me, address me, or anything. But how one of the videos look, it's like he had a phone, he was addressing me. It's like it just seems like he was trying to poke the bear and then got hit with like 10 bears. And it's just like, don't fuck around then. Just don't fuck, if you don't want to find out, don't fuck around. It's just like, I feel like we're like trying to make him a victim of him being stupid. And it's like, at that point, it's natural selection. And unfortunately, it was broadcast live, but natural selection. Stop trying to bother the bears. It doesn't make sense. Like you're not even doing anything just underneath the pretext of justice. Like you're just doing it underneath your own ego and like for more power. You just stop. There's a proper way to go about things, and violence and raiding and stuff like that. It's not the way. There's so many people in this tussle. It's like why? And then why are there people watching? If there's guns or anything involved,
just in case you somehow missed it, look. The agent in gray has his hand on Alex's weapon, which is still holstered. It was never unholstered. This agent takes it out of its holster before he runs away with it, and the officer right next to him is the one that pulls out his gun and shoots him. And now I want to show you the clearest video that shows everything that happened here and how it doesn't go how the authorities are.
If the authorities attack me like that, I'd just be terrified and absolutely scared. Um, I don't keep weapons on me for that reason. I just don't want any unnecessary problems and stuff like that. And as a man who's older, I don't. For the most part, I can protect myself to a certain degree that I don't need weapons and stuff like that. So I just don't like having them around, and then I don't want to give the police like another reason to bother me. So I just don't do it. But yeah, as it gets worse and stuff here, uh, the days goes on, I consider more and more of like moving to somewhere else that's actually peaceful. It was a couple of days ago. I saw like the 10 most peaceful countries and shit, and like one of them was Japan. So I think the number 10 was Japan. So I'd consider that just because like it's getting really. It was crazy before, and now it's getting crazier.
saying that it did.
It's getting so crazy to the point where I can get killed in the streets and then and it'll be a video. Before, at least, like people would just march. Now I could be a video.
That was Alex
The fact that
Preddy you saw walk
my
by the
death could be a video for somebody else's views is just fucking sad.
camera right there. He has his phone in his hand, and then with his other hand, his open hand, no.
What?
And now I want to show you the clearest video that shows everything that happened here and how it doesn't go how the authorities are saying that it did.
Oh god, see one of these cunts that's fucking bothering the ICE agents. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they're poking the bear. And they were like, oh, the guy that was poking, or the people that were poking the bear.
That was Alex Preddy.
They were holding up. This isn't how you do it, people. Okay? This ain't how you do it.
Saw walk by the camera right there. He has his phone in his hand, and then with his other hand, his open hand, no gun in it, is waving cars through. There is clearly no brandishing of a firearm here. He is not approaching agents with a gun or anything like that, and you will never see anything even remotely close to that happen.
What the hell?
In this section, you can again see Alex Preddy has his phone in his hand, and now he's trying to get some of the civilians away from these fucking worms that are now starting to push them. And then one of them got pepper sprayed, and then he got pepper sprayed as well. And when he gets pepper sprayed, you can see his hand shoots in the air like a student about to try and ask the teacher a question. It is a wide open palm. There's no weapon in that hand, and in his other hand is still the phone. There is no gun anywhere here. And now this is when he starts getting beaten by the multiple officers there.
It's just sad. Hitting them with pepper spray and shit.
The fuck, people? The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
I'm gonna stop the video right here because this is when Alex Preddy gets shot to death. This fucking subhuman coward, you can see, pulls out his firearm and shoots him in the back, and then shoots him multiple times after as Alex Preddy lies on the ground. You can hear one of the agents says gun, and that's when this brain-dead troglodyte pulls out his firearm and starts shooting into Alex while he was still surrounded by his boys, mind you. This is like the antithesis to all training that agents go through, by the way, to shoot into a suspect while still being surrounded by authorities. You're going to get your own people shot too, by the way, you fucking moron, you unbelievable homunculus. So he immediately starts dumping into Alex because someone said gun.
Dumping.
But the gun, from the other angle, you can
more
see,
than
had
one
already
guy.
been taken away from Alex, out of his holster. You can see one of the other agents running away with it. But again,
To be an
he was
innocent person, and you're just trying to voice that you believe that some of the stuff that they're doing is injustice, and then you're gunned down by the same authorities you're saying are doing injustice in public, and then you're just a video. That's today, man. That's the lives that we're living. This is the world that we're bringing children into.
never brandishing this firearm. And as an American citizen with Second Amendment rights and a lawful gun owner by all available information, he was allowed to have that gun on his person. It is not grounds to execute a man because you fucking freaked out and panicked because the guy you were beating and pistol whipping with fucking 5 of your friends happened to be armed. He wasn't using it to try and like shoot anyone here or threaten them. They saw the gun and then this guy just freaked out and murdered him. shot him multiple times. This is indefensible, completely indefensible. And the fact that they even took him to the ground in the first place and started beating him, with one guy pistol whipping him, by the way. In other angles, you can see a guy just like pistol whipping him like he's trying to hammer a nail in with his gun. Like, it should have never even been acceptable for that to happen. All Alex Preddy was doing was filming, and then when some civilians started getting pushed, he tried to help. And when one got pepper sprayed, he tried to help. From all available angles and evidence and videos here, it seems to be that's all he was doing. He even made an effort to try and show that he's not like a threat or something. Like, he threw his arm in the air, wide open, nothing in his hand or anything. He wasn't fighting back against the officers. He got taken to the ground and then immediately started getting beaten. Like, all because he was fucking filming and trying to help other people around there, it seems. This is so fucking sickening. And the freaks that are cheering this on and parading around like this is something to be celebrated are just scum. You're not even American. You're a fucking drone. If you...
So currently at this point and stuff, the two sides are, it's like, what I can gather and stuff over like the couple of days is like it's a left that are blowing whistles and essentially poking the bear, which is the ICE agents. And then you have the right side that is like, well, if you keep doing this, it's going to get worse. And like this event right now, people are going to get killed and die and stuff. And people are just still fucking around and finding out. And it's really just one side versus the other. No one's really trying to hear the other one's argument or side and stuff. This side's not using logic and reason, and this side isn't, uh, isn't being empathetic and uh, using their emotions behind their actions. They're just justifying the logic that they're doing with reason, which is why neither side can come to a consensus where everyone is happy and stuff. It's just going to be a continuous. Um, well, I'm right. Well, no, you're wrong. I'm right. No, I'm wrong. You're. It's just nonsense. Nonsense. No one's actually listening to one another. No one's using reason or anything like that to. I mean, like I said, the right side is using reason and logic, but not being empathetic and stuff about it to their opponents on the other side, and then this side is just a bunch of goofballs and stuff that are not even applying even the slightest bit of logic to anything that they're saying. So we're not even listening. Well, the right isn't listening to. I'm independent. I don't. I didn't want to choose a side of the lesser of the two evils. I didn't even vote for Obama. It didn't look like something that would help. Uh, so I was just like, no. Until you give me something real, I'm not voting for it.
actually think this is a good thing. All you care about is just like sucking wiener from the authorities now all of a sudden. You care more about just being on a team than you do thinking for yourself. It's fucking tragic. It is embarrassing. This is crazy now that I'm seeing people justify this guy's murder because he had a weapon. Wake the fuck up. This is America. You can carry weapons. I sometimes carry a gun in public. I have friends who every day carry. It is your right as an American to carry a firearm if you so choose. That is not grounds for a murder. And based on all of the video footage, all of the available evidence, this guy was not brandishing it or anything like that. Thus, he wasn't threatening anyone or about to shoot someone with it, so they had to kill him to stop him. That doesn't seem to be the case. They're now just using the fact that he had a gun as a justification to kill him. That should be extreme.
Anyone who sees the video couldn't possibly justify that he had a gun. The man was on his knees or whatever, surrounded by several other people being beaten. If you think that person needs to then be shot as well, just saying.
Extremely alarming to anyone who cares about 2A. Like, again, him having it should not be an issue. And any real, actual American, like a real patriot, should be arguing for his right to carry, because it is something that we have the right to do, and that should not be a justification for this man being killed by these agents. This point that they're trying to beat into the empty minds of a lot of people that are trying so hard to justify it is that the only people being
The best
arrested...
example is if my mother started carrying a gun. I am now more terrified of my mother than I was yesterday. It's just how it goes. If you have a weapon, I'm just scared of you. I understand it's underneath the pretext of like protecting yourself, but which create a system that goes off of good faith, and we don't need it and stuff. But I'm in the real world. I understand why we use it, but we should evolve to the point where we don't need these anymore.
Arrested and targeted by ICE are rapists and pedophile illegal aliens, which is just not the case. There definitely have been rapists and pedophiles that have been snatched up in all of this, and those rapists and pedophiles that have been caught and taken away, that's good. They shouldn't be out there breathing the free air. Great. But that's not all that's happening here. You could also right now march into the White House and arrest everyone in the White House, and you would get a ton of rapists and pedophiles. Why isn't that happening? If the goal is getting rapists and pedophiles off of American soil, thrown in the slammer, taking them away from society, why is it only just walking through the fucking streets of Minnesota trying to do it? You would get significantly more rapists and pedophiles if you took ICE and brought them to the White House. An administration is actively covering up a massive child sex trafficking operation and letting tons of evil people get away with this, tons of clients. So if the goal is to get this kind of evil out of this country, why would you not start with what is provably a spot that has so many of them? Also, that belief of like a secret pedophile ring was a very popular one among Trump voters for the longest time. And now that it has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to be real, legitimate reality, they are now just ignoring it. They have been proven correct that there was a huge pedophile ring of these powerful politicians, but because some of their favorite politicians are potentially wrapped up in it, they just want to drop it and forget about it. Absolutely unhinged, by the way. It's crazy. So many people for the longest time were adamant against like government surveillance and Big Brother watching them being a huge concern. Now, plenty of people are welcoming it with open arms and a huge smile on their face. For the longest time, people would be preaching about the importance of the Second Amendment and gun rights. And now, even with this, they're saying, well, he had a gun, which means that's an executable offense. So it seems like they now no longer believe in Americans' right to own guns or carry guns, which was a core component of like the right for a long time, where there was like this big fear about they're coming for our guns. And now the same people that were arguing like to protect that are now arguing against it, saying, well, this guy deserved to die because he had a gun with him. It's a fundamental right of Americans to have guns, gun ownership. You can carry them in public too. Like that, you shouldn't be killed for that. And in the footage here, it doesn't seem like he was brandishing it or anything. And also, the same people that only like a year and a half ago were constantly telling you to question the government, that you can't trust anything that comes out of the government, the authorities always lying to you, are now just willingly, blindly, unquestioningly following anything authorities tell them to believe in, and shut out any and all thought and just have the hive mind think for them. It is crazy because it seems like the only actual belief of some of these fucking brainwashed drones is relentless cock gobbling. All they want to do is swallow boots and penis from the government. So if the administration or the news, which they used to hate the news, but now that the news just parrots points from big government that they like to clap their hands at like seals, they now just trust all of it all of a sudden, even though there's been no big change with these mainstream media outlets, by the way, that they used to not trust only a year and a half ago. But now, anytime they hear something from the news or anything that comes from the government, they will just immediately accept without a second thought, and then attack anyone else that is saying differently, or even just probing them to maybe think a little bit more about the narratives. Keep in mind, the government themselves are currently not even complying with their own laws that Trump has signed, like the Epstein Transparency Act, where the DOJ is still putting up a fight and are over a month late to compliance with releasing the Epstein files. They are still fighting tooth and nail to not release them, and even recently, only a week ago, outright said maybe there's no court that can force them to order this. They didn't even say maybe. I gave them a very charitable thing right there. They actually said courts can't force them to do this, and that if they don't comply, there's nothing anyone can do. They can't be sued. If the DOJ doesn't comply, go fuck yourself, pussy. That's basically their sentiment. They are not complying with their own fucking laws, and yet people are still willing to overlook that in order to just keep like playing for the same team. It's like it's a competition to see who can think the least and who can regurgitate enough from the hive mind to be like the biggest super fan of their side. It's fucking despicable. It's actually crazy. This is real sheep behavior. I know a lot of these people like to say sheep, sheep, sheep for the longest time, but now they are actually the epitome of that. Here's just a little thought experiment if you can break through the programming for a second. Imagine what's happening in Minnesota was happening under Obama or Biden, where there were masked agents that were constantly surveilling you and even at times asking for your papers, your documents to prove you're an American citizen, constantly needing to provide your private information to these masked agents. And these agents also had killed 2 American citizens. What do you think your response would be? Would you be like, oh yes, please, everyone?
So I'm black. So that happened frequently, especially in the '90s and then like early 2000s and stuff. I just started getting fucked with, and then um, I eventually just got older and I just stayed inside the house. So I don't really. I stay inside a bubble, so I don't actually notice anything going on outside. I have to look online and go to the internet to find out what's going on and stuff. Most stuff just passed me by. But yeah, I think that's more of a white thing. Like as a black person, I experienced it as a child. So what are we really talking about? Ooh, white people are now experiencing what motherfuckers used to deal with and shit back in the day. Prove you're an American. What I am, but I am new. It's not funny, but it's been this particular one thought was kind of funny.
Needs to comply with this. This is good. This is what I want. This is what I look for in Obama or Biden. This is what I'm happy about. Would you be as excited then as you are now in that scenario? My guess would be probably not, because you would rightfully view this as an infringement on your rights as an American. Your Second Amendment right, where apparently even carrying a gun now is a crime punishable by death. Like, this isn't something anyone should be championing for. But
Fuck no.
because it's become
When people
such like
get
a
killed,
team-focused
it's
sport,
scary.
people delude themselves into
Authorities
thinking that
being
they
able to
have to
kill you
support
is
this, and thus
scary.
they will abandon all of their
Um,
beliefs in order to stay on this
becoming a
side.
public
It's
spectacle.
crazy to me.
Yeah,
I
it's
truly
your
don't
death
even
that
know
is
what
a
the
spectacle.
solution
It's
here is,
scary.
because people are just willingly, on their own accord, no longer trusting what they see and what they know to be true. They would rather just have the government tell them what to think and what's true. So that way they don't have to do any level of thought for their own. How do you fix that? I genuinely do not know. I have no idea. I don't know how you can watch this footage and multiple angles of this situation and
Bruv, what are you talking about? What are you really talking about? Churches, priests. The fact that we even have a government that tells us what to do and underneath the pretense that they'll like help us. What are we talking about? This ain't utopia, bro. It's never been utopia. This country started off with slavery, bro. Like so many people are indoctrinated into the pretense that like the school systems are even. I went to both a public and a private school. The one year I went to private school was more than any of the years I ever went to public school. I would much rather go absent and not show up at all. I'd actually learn more than if I did go to the public schools. They were just fucking idiots. What are we talking about? Life isn't fair, bro. We didn't create utopia, bro. We created a the concept of like a ruling class over essentially slaves, and then like if you're not extremely wealthy or something like that, you're essentially a slave, or lower class citizen or whatever, or class citizen. I don't care. It's just elites and then like not elite and stuff like that. And I think that is just terrible and stuff like that. I'd much rather our elites were uh, or were intergalactic, interstellar, brilliant, minded beings that traveled the universe and brought us the lower class citizens and stuff with them and stuff. Then I call them elite. But you just have some diamonds and stupid ass fucking gold and shit like that. I think you're an imbecile, and everyone else who doesn't realize that is an imbecile as well. But I don't want to go that hard and stuff and be like, oh, I just want human beings as a species to evolve. We're underneath the pretense that we're this evolved species, but we're not. We're really not. We're really not. We haven't left the jungle. We still give a shit about skin color and stuff like that. And I find that to be the dumbest shit ever. Especially since like red roses aren't actually red, scientifically speaking. They're every color except for the color red. That's why you see red is because they're emitting the red. So that means that they're every color of the universe except for red, and it's only, even then, that's only like 1% of the colors and stuff. So the fact that we be like, oh, I'm African, and be like, ah, blah blah, you're a black guy, blah blah. It's like I'm a human being, this cosmic stardust in this universe that is forever expanding. Like, if you really give a shit about skin color, I find you to be an imbecile.
Still come out trusting the government's word on the series of events that unfolded when you can yourself watch the footage and prove them false? What do you do to someone that just refuses to at least try and see things clearly? I don't know. But it's fucking tragic, and it's only getting worse. It is so fucking out of control.
Yeah.
I had to yap about this. I've been actually fuming all day.
And parading in the
So,
streets
yeah, that's
is not the
really
way to
about
go.
So yeah,
I don't know exactly how they would address it or anything like that. Like maybe the court systems or something. I don't know. Vote differently. I don't know. Because like I said, the whole system isn't really built off of like utopia. So you'd have to restart from the foundation up and stuff. Because like um, it's just not built in the favor of all, but for the few. So you'd have to change the foundation.